shots that I take, about the ankles I break, about the hits that I make, it's just more to the game. It's more to the game. It's just more to the game. It's just more to the game.
I'm Big Trey. I'm your host today for the MTTG OffBall Podcast. This podcast was created to achieve the third MTTG goal, which is to give a platform to underappreciated athletes. Today we have Cameron Vines. He is a professional basketball player, YouTuber, entrepreneur. How's it going, Cam?
I'm good, brother. How you feeling?
I'm good too, man. I'm good too. Just trying to make it. So, to give us a little background, tell us where you're from, where you played your college ball, and everything.
So from Columbus, Ohio, born and raised. Out of high school, wasn't highly recruited. Got a big injury my junior season in high school, and so because of that, I had to. I still was a really good player coming out, but ended up going Division II to a school called Florida Southern, which was a top-ranked Division II program. Did well there, played there for 2 years. Then after that, I transferred to another Division II in the GLVC, which was a pretty tough Midwestern conference for Division II, to a school called St. Joseph's. Played there my last 2 years, did very well there, and then went overseas from that opportunity.
What was your first deal when you signed overseas?
My first deal was in Germany. It was to play for a farm team in for a team in the top level of Germany, which is the BBL. But the farm team was basically in the lower division, and they were just like, it's a good opportunity, and you get to play with the top team, be with those top guys. So
How long do you think you're gonna keep playing? Like your total career, like how long do you think you keep playing basketball?
Honestly, bro, like for me, I'm at this little point where I'm just kind of trying to figure out what's going on as far as what I want to do with it. As far as for basketball, I had a son, and that's why I transferred schools in college. I had a son my sophomore year, my freshman going to my sophomore year of school. And so, I had to sacrifice, come back a little bit closer. But just playing overseas, man, like I didn't have my last season in Australia, I finally got to take my son over there and have him living with me. But prior to that, man, like, being away from your kid for 8 to 10 months, just not being around them, it can get difficult, especially if you're not with the kid's mother. And so, for me, kind of like, if I go overseas, man, it's kind of got to be. I'm at the point where it's just like it's got to be worth it. It's got to be a good opportunity. The benefit of just not having a kid, and trying to play overseas is that you can just go from season to season. You can go ahead and just like put a year or two of just sacrifice. Like, all right, well, I'm about to sacrifice a year or two. I might get paid for this much, and just trying to work my way up. But the thing about I got paid, man. I got a certain things I got to make sure he taken care of. So, I can't just grind from the bottom to a certain degree. And, it's like I said, it's my 4th, 5th season. It's like, I gotta start, if I do an opportunity, it's gotta be something that's going to be it's going to keep me financially stable, to say the least.
Yeah, it's definitely different in your case being a dad, man, because you're not just making these decisions for yourself. But that's great that you're definitely putting your kid first. You're not just trying to chase your own goals. You're also thinking about your kid, man. I definitely give you props for that. Let's talk more about you and what you got going on. You got your channel. I see you give a lot of tips to the hoopers out there and the overseas guys. So let's get into some questions that I feel like overseas guys or hoopers, in general want to know. So with that being said, first question is, how do you choose an agent for your professional career?
Man, that's a question with a lot of layers. I get a lot of guys asking me that just from the YouTube channel. But man, I mean, it kind of just depends on where you're at in your basketball career. Like, I get question from a lot of different guys at different levels. Like, you know, you got guys like yourself who have a resume and who, you know, they're looking for an agent different than a guy who's, you know, a little bit more hopeful, where he ain't got much of a resume. He coming straight out of high school. You know, he think that the league is easy. You know, he think that it's just a snap of a finger, like there ain't a million other dudes trying to do what you do. Mm-hmm. You got guys who go JUCO, trying to go to the league, you're just trying to skip steps. And so for those type of guys, I mean, I say for one, like, you can't skip steps, man. Like, I get a lot of guys contacting me, and they'll say, like, they'll tell me their resume, or they tell me they coming straight out of high school. I'm just like, I mean, if you ain't a top recruit, bro, like, it's not happening. Like, it's too many guys out here trying to, you know, pursue this professional career for you to be coming out of high school, you know, not averaging 50 points a game, thinking you about to be a pro. Like, that's just not realistic. But and there's dudes who, you know, might be 28, 29 trying to make the dream alive. And I'm not going to tell them that they can't do it, but, you know, your situation going to be different than a guy who's, you know, coming with a college, who's coming straight out of college. Yeah. But, like, to the guy coming out of college, say you coming from a smaller school, I say, you know, to find an agent, for one, you just got to network, man. Like, basketball is just literally, it's business. And a lot of guys don't realize that. A lot of dudes just kind of sit around and like, oh, well, I ain't got nobody I know. It's like, nah, you got to reach out to people. Like, you know, somebody that play overseas ball, like, hit them up. Say, hey, bro, you know, I'm kind of trying to look for overseas. You know, do you got an agent you could point my way, or any type of contacts? Some dudes might not help you, but, you know, you got to be persistent. Don't be afraid to hear no, and just keep reaching out to people and networking. Really, that's really basketball, man. Like, for you to get overseas, you really just got to know how to network. And the other option, I say, is just like going to a exposure camp, honestly, but like going to a good one that actually helps players and has a resume of helping players. You know what I mean? Like, you go to one of these Vegas camps that got a lot of these agents and coaches there, and you got to go out there and show up. You know, that's for the D3 guys, the NAIA guys. You know, you got to kind of work your way to getting an agent if you ain't got agents hitting you up.
It's good you said networking, because I'm trying to build this channel and this brand out to be a network for all athletes to be able to fall back on, be able to talk to people and get advice and some connections. So I definitely can see how the networking thing will definitely play into a career as an overseas basketball player. So once you have your agent and everything, like, what countries should you be looking to get a contract in?
Honestly, man, that first deal, you definitely want to go to a respected country. But if you can get to like somewhere in Europe, Europe is always a good place to start, just because Europe is very connected. So you do well in one place in Europe, you're able to build your way up. I say in Germany's a good country. I've been there, so I know, like, for those guys in Germany, they stay connected. If you do well, man, people will hear about you and people will hit you up, and you're able to move up from there. I mean, and you just got to kind of look at countries that pay the most money. France is a good one. I mean, anywhere you can really get in. I mean, your first year, man, you kind of just want to get your foot in the door. If you can get over into the Middle Eastern, then, you know, do your thing. Those guys they pay pretty well for, like, beginner contracts as well. Like, if you can get in whatever market you get into, it doesn't matter. What's most important is that you just do your thing while you're playing. You know what I mean? You don't want to wherever you go, just kill, and you'll make your way.
Yeah, definitely got to build that resume up. I know I have a friend, I think he was thinking about his next contract being in Germany. So, yeah, that's dope. What are basic, like, money and living expectation things for your contract? Like, I know a lot of people watching this might not know anything about overseas, but what type of money as an overseas basketball player or living setup do they give you guys?